you out there. I am a narcissist abuse advocate, Sheila Wiley, and I am back with you once again with a video covering narcissist, narcissistic personalities, narcissistic characteristics. I am a narcissist abuse advocate, and I was abused by a narcissist for roughly 5 years, and I have some knowledge on narcissism. And so I am here as an advocate to share with you and educate you, or see if you identify with things such as I did, which happened in my real life situation. So I'm just here just to be a help, as someone here who basically perhaps went through the same thing as you, or of someone who has gone through narcissistic abuse. And so as an advocate, my goal is to help to educate people on what it is so that they can run from it. Or if you do not know that you may be with a narcissist, perhaps that you can see some of the signs as I give my illustrations from my real life dealings with the narcissist, and then you can make the choice of whether or not you want to stay with that person or not. So basically, we're here just to educate you on different characteristics and different behaviors that a narcissist may exemplify, be it your boss, boyfriend, girlfriend, child, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, whatever it may be. Okay. Narcissist abuse definitely is a mental type of abuse. It is very painful. And today, my topic is going to be called or entitled, I Am a Survivor. I'm a survivor. You may have been abused by a narcissist for several years. And whether it's been a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is still the most, or one of the most degrading, dehumanizing, grotesque type of abuse that anyone can encounter. I would not wish this type of abuse on my worst enemy. If I had a worst enemy, I would not. So I've dedicated a portion of my life to sharing my experiences with a narcissist. And feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to just just listen in, just be a support, be an advocate. If you've never been abused, being an advocate, because the more of us who are out here being able to talk about this type of abuse, I know that this type of abuse is not really recognized too much. There is a day for Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day, which I'm glad for that day. But as far as any type of a narcissist being locked up just for abusing someone, mentally, emotionally, like there really has not been too much justice. Okay. And so as an advocate, I want to do my part to hopefully one day the narcissist will receive, the narcissist abuse, or the ones who have been abused by narcissists will receive justice. Because it is a pain like none other. These are wounds and scars that you cannot see. Like, for instance, on my chest, you can't see any scars. You can't see any wounds. But the wounds were perhaps there. The wounds may still be with you. The wounds may still be with one of your loved ones, right? But these narcissists are on the street and they're continuously hurting, demonizing innocent victims. And so if you can please help me out by spreading the awareness of narcissist abuse. Yes, several ones of us who have been abused will want to see justice served, just like the ones who are domestically abusing people, physically abusing people, sexually abusing people, the predators, the murderers. The narcissist needs to be a behind bars. They're on the same level. The abuse is not different. You just can't see it. So I want to share, as being a survivor, I wanted to share just a few characteristics or behaviors that you may have felt if you have already gone no contact from a narcissist, but you were abused, you were a victim, or if you're still in a narcissistic relationship with a narcissist. These are some of the characteristics that you may be feeling. But as a survivor, I'm here to tell you that you can overcome it. You can get over these different characteristics just by practicing them daily, practicing things daily, right? You can get over it. because I'm going through it right now. I'm actually getting over it. And so let's go. First thing, as a survivor, depression. Depression is something that a narcissist victim or a narcissistically abused victim may have felt or may be feeling. So to combat that, of course, what is it? Cheerfulness. So practice every day being cheerful, being grateful for something, being grateful that you are alive, being cheerful, right? So anything opposite what the narc or how the narc had you feel, that's how you want to combat that particular characteristic. So anything negative that you've been feeling, you want to combat it with a positive. So if you were feeling depressed, you want to combat that by being cheerful, being around cheerful events, cheerful people, so on and so forth. So you may have experienced being confused. So guess what? When you're not around that narcissist, practice feeling certainty. Know that you know that you know that you're correct. You know how the narcissists have you feeling confused, like questioning your own thoughts, questioning your own sanity. So when you say something, like you say, I am beautiful, or someone tells you that you are beautiful, leave it at that. Do not confuse the situation and start double underestimating or going back saying, am I really beautiful? Is this person really telling me the truth? Right? So instead of doing that, know that if someone is saying you're beautiful, accept it. Right? So confusion, opposite of confusion is certainty. Knowing that you are beautiful when someone says it, knowing that you're beautiful when you say it. Third thing, abuse. Instead of feeling abused, the opposite of being abused is looked after, flattered, complimented. Accept compliments. So you've accepted abuse long enough, or you dealt with abuse long enough. So now accept compliments from people. Accept compliments from yourself. Flatter yourself. Allow someone else to flatter you. PTSD, which you know that is post-traumatic stress disorder. The opposite of that is PTG, positive or post-traumatic growth. So grow from that experience. Grow from that experience. Know that, you know what? I no longer want to deal with the narcissist. Or if you have got with another narcissist, you know what to look for and you know to run and not look back. So the opposite of post-traumatic stress disorder is post-traumatic growth. Because of that stress that you endure so great, you have grown from it. That's something that you do not want to go back to it. Usually when you've been with a narcissist, you're going to know it. And then you're going to realize that, hold up, is this a narcissist? In the beginning, everyone is going to look like a narcissist because some of us are like a lot of us, we may have some narcissistic characteristics, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are narcissists. And so you want to combat that PTSD by operating with PTG, post-traumatic growth, which is the positive life change that definitely usually occur, just like with me, once dealing with the narcissist. Because I believe that once you've dealt with a narcissist, it is to help you grow to be a better person. I just know for me, it helped me to examine myself a lot more. Different things that I did not like about myself after getting with that narcissist, you're going to soon realize, or you're going to soon become a whole lot better person. And you're going to be more conscious of other people's feelings, more conscious of who you even allow in your space. Trauma. You know that you experience trauma when dealing with a narcissist because it is such a mentally exhaustive. It actually it pierces your very spirit. So that's very traumatic. If you're used to being so sweet to people, helpful to people, and then you experience being with a narcissist who they have manipulated you into you thinking that they're the sweetest person, they're there for you, and then boom, all of a sudden they're gone. That is traumatic on the mind, because you may be getting ready to go on a date with this narcissist one day, when in their head, they're thinking about breaking up with you on that same day, or even on that date. Maybe even after you have had like a very precious moment, or maybe after you have shared something so deep with them, and then boom, they discard you. That's trauma. So in order to combat that, healing. Take out time to heal. You can heal by listening to a motivational speaker, being around ones who love you, praying, meditating on God's word, worshiping God, even basically growing your spiritual life with God. Those are different ways of healing. Those are different ways of healing. Definitely going to counseling, right? But basically, to combat trauma is healing. Low self-esteem, of course, to combat that, having confidence. Having confidence in yourself, having confidence in who you are, having confidence that who you were destined to be, who you were before you met that narcissist, that's who you are right now. It's that narcissist who basically told you otherwise, who basically, because they have no life and they live their life within your life, they want your life to match their life. So they're going to try to drain you of every bit of confidence, every bit of high self-esteem that you may have had. So then, of course, that's when you have low self-esteem, but you want to get your confidence back. You want to increase your esteem back, because before you met that filthy, low down, nasty, demonic narc, you're still precious. You were precious before you met them. You're precious now. And actually, during the time you're with them, you were precious then. So don't stoop to that narc's level and fool yourself and walk around as if you have low self-esteem. Somebody out there loves you. Somebody out there feels that you're important. Somebody out there feels that you are precious. That never happened. That never stopped. You never stop. You may have stopped being yourself, but those characteristics within you, even with the narcissist, those never stop. So you do not have low self-esteem. You're positive. You're confident. Hopelessness. When you were feeling hopeless, like that was the end of the world, like you were trapped with that narcissist. Now, once you leave that narcissist, you're once again independent. You're no longer codependent upon that narcissist. Remember, that narcissist feel like they have to think for you. They feel like you cannot think for yourself. They tell you that you're stupid, you're ugly. They tell you that you're not smart. No, you're smart. You're not ugly. You're not hopeless. You're independent. You were better off without that narcissist. They're the ones who are deflecting how they feel about themselves or how they see themselves onto you. So know that it is not you. It was never you. You came into their life because that narcissist needed supply. You came into their life because you are an empath. You are a super empath. You are one who cares about people. You have empathy and you want to see the good in everybody. So don't let the narcissist get it twisted. So no longer feeling hopeless. You're independent. You're great. Loss of dreams. Yes. Because when you're with the narcissist, I know for me, my dreams for the moment went out the window because I was basically catering to all of his dreams, all of his cares. It's like I pretty much lost myself. I lost myself. And for what? Nothing. So guess what? I'm picking back up on my dreams again. I'm doing me, as so many people like to say. I'm doing me. I'm focusing in on my dream and I'm living out my dreams. I'm living my best life. Fear. I used to be fearful, never knowing when he was going to come out with the rage, never knowing when he was going to try to strangle me, never knowing when he was going to try to sexually abuse me, never knowing when he was going to try to verbally abuse me with all his fussing, never knew how he was going to emotionally abuse me. So never knowing that had me walking on eggshells, trying to make sure that I always please him. Because as an empath, we never want to let anyone down. So I was very fearful. I didn't know I was fearful, but honestly, I was very fearful. So once going no contact with the narcissist, a particular like peace, calmness came over me. Peace came over me. Calmness came over me. Because dealing with the narcissist, it is so chaotic because you never know once again when they're going to blow up. So the opposite of fear is being calm. Anger. I was extremely angry. The narcissist knew what they were doing. They would get me to, they basically got me out of my character. I was such an angry person to where I honestly did not like who I had became. I was always saying, I want to get back to my whole self. I want to get back to who I am. I want to get back to that beautiful person that I once was before I met that narcissist. So the opposite of anger, guess what? Is good humor. I think I laugh so much to where sometimes I'm just literally in tears. Also watching comedy movies, going to comedy clubs, just laughing at yourself, getting in the mirror, maybe saying a joke, laughing at yourself. Always try to be humor. Always try to hear some type of humor. That is the opposite of anger. And then pain. You felt a lot of pain. I still sometimes feel that pain if I reminisce. That pain cuts you so deep. It cut me so deep to the point of where I was like, how could this have happened to me? Like, I'm a good person. I do not try to go after people and harm people. How could this happen to me? And you feel so painful because it's like in your body, there was no mean or malicious bone. And it pained you. It hurt you to the point of where it's just like, why? Why did this happen to me? So now to combat the pain that you were feeling, pleasure. Pleasure yourself. Pleasure yourself either by being around pleasurable people, doing pleasurable things. So these are not all of the antonyms from the negative characteristics that you may have been feeling from being or due to being with a narcissist or in a narcissist relationship. These are just a few. But as you go through your healing, these are some characteristics or some antonyms that are opposite of the negative characteristics that I recommend you practice to help you through your healing journey. Now, you may want to cry. It is okay to cry to get that toxic waste out of you. It is okay to share your story with other people. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to let all of those negative emotions out. But you want to go full circle and put in the positive to replace them. So I've just given you a few. There are a lot more, tons of a lot more. But as you're going through as a narcissist abuse victim, as you're going through your healing, these are some of the antonyms that I had to use or that I'm currently or constantly using, which allows me to be a narcissist abuse survivor. And I want you today also to be a survivor as well. You can do it. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are healed. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention. Also, give yourselves or have an affirmation, a daily affirmation. But you want to make sure that you practice this over and over and over again. It is very important that you do not go into a depression. It is very important that you do not be angered or angry with other people. It's not other people's fault that this happened. So you don't want to take this abuse out on anybody else. You don't want to take it out on your friends, your family, your children, your co-workers. You don't want to take it out on anybody. So we want to practice, the positive. And when I see myself beginning to let loose and take out my negativity on other people, that's when I distance myself. But I don't want to distance myself for long because it's not those people's fault. It's not anyone else's fault. But be strong. Try to push through this. We can push through this together. All right. So that's pretty much all I want to say about I'm a survivor. You're a survivor. Feel free to reach out to me. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go through my past videos if you're just seeing this. But I want to leave with you today the main point. You are a survivor. You can do this. Be blessed until next time.